So this is the brand new for 2020 updated version of the beginner tutorial that I made like 3 years ago. The amount of new stuff that was being found and was relevant for new players was just piling up, so I figured it's time to update it. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm just gonna jump right into it.
And I'm joining John for the ride this time around.
Yeah, I got Sam to help me out with this one. Alright, so game starts off. I don't think it's going to be much different for the first couple of minutes, but basically, again, just like last time, I'm going to assume a basic level of familiarity with like the movement mechanics. Okay. But just move through these rooms. There's really not much to talk about here.
I need to get my dad to stop singing through this tutorial. I wonder if you guys can hear that.
No.
It doesn't matter much. Okay.
Yeah, just mash right through all this. This climb is a little difficult sometimes. I'm going to do the way that involves less wall jumping. You're probably not going to beat that Ripper, so just wait, just go around like that. That's about the only thing to keep in mind. Oh, and this. Wall jump, wall jump, wall jump, wall jump.
And if you can't do that, just go around. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. The whole goal of this is to just get you through the game. Doesn't matter if you take damage here. It did for the last tutorial, but not for this one. Because this is the first major difference that you're really going to want to take advantage of. We're still killing the worm. Still worth trying to get the double missiles.
Maybe you want to explain how to avoid spikes.
Yeah, don't shoot the worm when he's moving up. But wait around here, collect all the drops, and pick up the charge beam now. We used to get this later, but it's been discovered that you're better off getting it early, and you want to hold a charge right through this door. And because you can use it to pseudo screw attack through those enemies if they're in your way.
Yeah, there are quite a few spots where you can do that.
Yep. Right here is another one. If these guys are in your way, like that.
Yeah, we're probably not going to mention every single spot, just like check to see where.
Hive room's the same. 3 missiles on that hive. You want to have 6 missiles right here. Shoot to lure the bugs. Shoot, jump, and shoot to lure the bugs. 3 missiles, 2 beams. 3 missiles, 2 beams, and you're through. That strat does take some practice, so don't be afraid to just sit right there and practice it. We're pretty much just going straight through to bombs at this point. Good pseudo screw strat, not there, here. If you just jump right as you enter the room, you'll get right up there, and if that enemy's in the way, you can use charge beam right there, get the enemies out of the way quicker. And then just pick up the bomb.
So this is one of the 2 spots you can heal at.
Yeah,
for a little more experience, heal here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if you're a beginner, it's probably a good idea to heal. So that's what I'm gonna do.
I'd say you heal here if you kind of know what you're doing. There's a heal later on that you're probably gonna want to take.
And you gotta drop 2 bombs to get up there, and don't hold left or right until the bombs have already exploded. And there's not too much going on here. The way I do it is with sets of 3 bombs, and that sometimes works really well. That's a fine way. You can go up, but that's a lot harder, so if you're a beginner, just go this way, right back the way you came. Alright, this room... I think the easiest way to do this is to just do something like that. It's not the fastest because you're going to have to do that, and then actually just roll out and jump up like that. That's probably as easy as that room's going to get. There are, of course, faster strats. If you get a good shot there, you can do that.
Or you can use a missile.
Yeah, you can. Pseudo screw's really useful right there too. Don't bomb these bugs. You're gonna want to try to damage boost through here, but it didn't work for me that time, which happens with bugs. Can't get that yet.
Yeah, so coming up is probably where you're gonna want to heal if you're really, really new.
Yep.
Or John just went over.
Yeah, I healed the bombs. But if you're low on missiles, you want to make sure you have a lot of missiles going into Kraid. You want to make sure you're going into Kraid as well, not doing that. Pull left here to pick up the missile tank hiding here. And then we're gonna go right here. Kraid as a whole, I don't think is terribly different from how it used to be before we picked up Charge Beam. But still, always good to review. Just bomb jump up there. So the key to this room is to leave that drop on screen. And I'm doing single bomb jumps for all the bomb jumps just to show how that would look. Easiest way, bomb that on the way down, and then ball cannon right back up. Alright, hello none to one. I'm not going to be showing the fastest strats. I'm gonna do my best to show the easiest thing. If you're short on health or ammo, you can farm right there. And acid worm. The fight doesn't trigger until you grab the zip line, so you can jump across here all you want. But you want to shoot the glowing red thing. And you want to drop down right here for the first round. Second round, wait a little bit, and you have to walk a little bit past that wall, or else your missiles will tink off of the acid worm. That's what it's supposed to look like, but you can just keep doing that over and over again until you kill him.
After this, you're gonna want to watch your ammo a little bit.
Yes, that's true.
You want to have at least 20 missiles for the next part coming up.
Yep, so if you have 10 after you kill the acid worm is the number you want. If you've got 10, you should not use any missiles. I have 2 extra, so I'm gonna show what I think are the best places to use those missiles. But if you do not have, if you have 10 missiles, that is not the right strat. You want to just morph when you're falling down there. You don't want to fall down like that. And again, you can use pseudo screw attack to kind of just get certain enemies out of the way. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to mention everything, but if you watch the video, you'll see them. Now we're going down here. Oh my god, okay. Just diagonal bomb jump over there. And ride the zip line. Pseudo Screw Attack can be useful here. And then what you want to do here is shoot this guy with 10 missiles. And you can pick up his drops if you're short. Ten more missiles, and we're through it. Hello. If you want to be really fancy, you can try this. I didn't get it, but it doesn't make a big difference. And ignore that broken block for now. I'd say for a beginner, it's worth taking your time to kill all those guys, just to make sure they don't get up here.
Yeah, they can knock you off this zip line, so you want to be careful with that.
But otherwise, your easiest bet is to just do intended strats here. Just use all the ball cannons. At this point, you don't need your missiles anymore. So feel free to use them to get enemies out of the way, and you're absolutely going to want to refill here. Very, very important. You're going to have a really bad time with the Kraid fight. Ah, yes, you do only want to break the right missile block because you use that left missile block to get up here. These double missile shots on the enemies are not trivial, as you can see. Feel free to jump over them if you think that might be better. And then here, you can do something like that. I don't really know what's going to be easiest. You could fall down and bomb jump your way back up.
You could go around too.
You could go around.
Whatever works for you.
Yep,
It's not
one
a big
missile.
deal.
Kraid. I'm going to try to do this whole thing with single missile shots. Almost had it. Ideally, you want to do double missiles, which... Double missiles are quite a bit harder than single missiles, but as you can see, it's possible to get a reasonably good Kraid fight with just single missile shots. The inputs for double missiles will look something like that. And if you feel you needed to, you can collect these drops. And now we've got Speed Booster. You only actually need to be a little past this wall. You don't need to be all the way back here. You can start running from right here, and you'll be just fine. And then you're going to want to keep running until you break through this wall here. And then the easiest thing is just line up right here and just spark up. Because that'll just put you right here. And then easiest thing to do here is just shoot missiles. And just drop right there. If you're fast, you can get that missile shot off. You gotta grab this. This, you run, and you jump into the speed booster blocks. And make sure you shoot that red button before getting the E-Tank. You've got a pretty decent bit of leeway, but if you don't get it... Okay, well... And then just climb up through here, and we're done with Kraid. Nice and easy.
And enjoy your 30-second cutscene.
Yep. Now you get the lore. Capital L, lore. And I don't think at this point... I don't think we're hitting any major differences from the last tutorial.
No, and there's not really too much.
I like to line Samus up with that platform right there to fall right into the ball cannon. Small thing. Gotta be careful here, because that guy can knock you back down there, and it's a real pain to get back up from there. Ceiling E-Tank, just bomb jump up into it. Okay.
You can kind of move if you're not aligned properly. So I guess there's that.
Yeah. And then this is just basically a repeat of the first climb you did. You can try to beat the Ripper, but we're going through here this time. If you're a beginner, with this route, honestly, I'd still skip that missile tank and save it for later. And the big reason why getting Charge Beam earlier is faster is because you get to do this spark. I'll show it. If you don't get it, it's not a big deal. Because it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, the main reason you're getting Charge Beam early is for consistency, so...
Yeah. You see, you really don't have a whole lot of leeway at the end there. But if you don't get it, just run through the room. Not the end of it. Not a big deal at all. But... more cutscene. And then at this point, it's still very similar to the last tutorial. You can use Charge Beam through here instead of missiles. So that's nice. Well, you could do that last time too. Never mind.
John hasn't played in a long time, so you have to forgive him.
I always forget when we used to pick up Charge Beam. Wall jump. If you can't wall jump, you're gonna have a really hard time with this route. So if you can't wall jump, practice wall jumping. Should have mentioned that right at the start, huh?
Well, you need to know how to wall jump and bomb jump properly. But, I mean, you already said that they need to know basic things, right?
Yeah, only shoot out that top block. It makes it a bit easier to get out. If you shoot out the other one, you just have to wall jump, and it's not a big deal. Alright, so for this, there's two strats that are both somewhat easy. The more traditional one is just wall jump up to the top, spark left, jump, spark right. That's probably the easiest way you're gonna.
There's another way, but you don't want to do it the other way.
And it's important to break spin with a shot there instead of pressing up, because if you press up, you might clip into the ceiling and bonk your spark. Go through here, pick up power grip. If you can do double bomb jumps, then double bomb jumps will let you get out of here before this rises. I'll show it. Okay, I won't. If you can't bomb jump, or if you fail it, just wall jump up here. Not that big of a deal. This is probably the easiest way. I kind of brain farted there. It's not a terribly important room. Holding a charge here lets you do that. Super the Ripper.
Make sure to swap back to missiles.
Yep. We're going to be making use of those, and we don't want to accidentally shoot the super. The super is very important, but this is where the route is going to start getting different from the previous tutorial. This is all due to a sequence of discoveries by Sam. Like normal, spark right here. And you're going to want to stop right about where that guy is and spark up to pick up this missile tank. And this is where it's different. You want to fall straight down, right back to here, and start running, right? Because we're going to go down through here rather than up. In here, shoot a missile to hit that guy. Store your spark, jump up here. Oh boy. Okay, open the door. And then spark through it in whichever manner you deem appropriate.
Yeah. You're going to be going through a few heated rooms, but your health should be pretty decent.
Yep. At this point, it's pretty easy to drop a bomb jump like that. That's not terribly difficult. The bombs are really lenient. And then for this missile, you can either use a missile. I've had better success by holding a charge, releasing it, and then sparking. Whatever works for you. If you don't get it, it's not the end of the world.
If you're having a lot of troubles, just do it in 2 jumps.
And spam missiles there. And based on your health, you may want to heal here, depending on how comfortable you feel. Whatever.
Definitely heal on your first few runs, though.
I'll heal here just to show it.
Yeah. Definitely make use of the heals on your first few
Yeah,
runs.
this route is beginner friendly primarily because it gives you much more health for heated rooms. So you have much more room for error with this route.
This is the one really important bomb jump. Make sure you can get this one.
Yep.
I think we're done with bomb jumps after this one.
Use 2 super missiles on that guy, just all the time. Always use 2 super missiles. Hidden shortcut. This room, there's a lot going on in this room, so I'm just going to say get through the room. If you want to, you can try to get a refill glitch here, like I didn't. Again, depending on your health, you may want to refill here. Just to show it, I'm going to refill. Make sure not to forget this missile. It can be an easy one to walk past. Jump down here. Leave that green door for now. And remember to shoot diagonal missiles at that first guy. This room is just terrible. And break spin there, because those are destructible, and you can screw attack through them. And we're going down here. This room is heated, but you should have a lot of health for it. So there's an awful lot of room for error here. Slightly faster to collect that missile on the way in rather than on the way out. So even if you take a few dips in the lava, there's plenty of... You might have to shoot diagonally there to get that guy. If you jump through the doors, do a small jump through the door, you can kind of easily break that.
If you're below 64 health, you want to heal here, but it shouldn't happen very often.
Yeah, like you want a bit of health. The absolute minimum is 46.
All right, it's 46.
But if you're not super confident that you have excellent movement, then don't be afraid to refill. But you're just going to be shooting right through all this and running. And what you want to do here is kind of jump and shoot missiles like that. If you can't do it, just use wave beam. Not a big deal. And you want to drop bombs and try to time them. There's not really a great cue for that. Alright, now we're going right.
We're gonna want to spark through there, right?
Yes, sorry, you're right. Don't go right, go left. Because we want to break. We want to... Oh my god. I forgot the charge beam strat.
Yeah, you want to shoot a missile further away.
This is how you want to do that. And just let go through the door. Break the blocks, collect the missile.
And remember to shoot this missile.
This is critically important. This route falls apart if you don't do that.
There is a backup. We're going to show it, I guess, later, but don't forget.
And just take the ball cannon up. And now is when we're going to go get Ice Beam. Yeah. I made a more comprehensive tutorial of this route. I will link it, but for a beginner, this right here is really all you should worry about. And you can just wall jump right up here. With high jump, that's a lot easier.
Yeah, and you have screw attack.
And this is...
It's great.
Oops. You gotta watch out for screw attack on some of those enemies. If you fall in the lava, you have a lot of health. It's not a big deal. Oops. Okay. And now we're just gonna fall right through these crumble blocks. If you fail to break the missile block, you're gonna want to go up there, take the any % shortcut, but that's really all.
I'm gonna suggest a different backup if you forget about the missile, honestly.
It's probably better to just go down and then break the speed blocks again.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Just go back and back through the room with the 2 worms and break the speed block. That's much more simple, much less to remember.
Yeah. Let's fall down through here. And that's why we want to break the missile block. If you haven't done it, go left, get a speed booster, and come down here anyway. Missiles through all that. And I'm gonna suggest Sam's easy strat here. I kind of messed it up, but with high jump, that's a pretty easy setup to do. You can do it on both sides. It's not a strat I've done for a little bit, so I kind of messed it up. But hopefully you kind of got the general idea of what goes on there.
Yeah, just try to, if you're really new, just try to shoot the Ripper so that you can shoot missiles diagonally on the vines.
Yep. Alright, so now that you're down here, immediately leave. I don't believe Ridley has changed at all from the last tutorial. The one thing I am going to note is destroying all but one of these is what triggers the imago fight, and you're going to want to shoot them. 2, 3. When I shoot that last one, alright, I'm going to take a second to do this properly because I titanically screwed it up last time. What you're going to want to do is after you break that, you're going to want to stand right here and aim up with super missiles equipped. And you're going to shoot until he knocks you back, and then you have to wait a second, then you can run forward. I messed that up. Again.
If you screw up too badly, you want to go back and learn to the left.
Yeah. What you want to stand here. Not down here. Here. I can't believe that. 2 tutorials in a row that I've screwed up the imago fight. Just forget that spark if you're a beginner. Do kill the owl for a super missile, and just make use of hidden shortcut. This floor is fake, starting with that block right there. So there's a couple different methods. I personally jump and then jump extend. You can jump, wall jump, you can hope for the power grip, but that's a fair bit harder. it's worth killing these 2 owls for supers. Because you want to have maximum supers. And be sure to kill that guy and pick up whatever he drops. Doesn't matter where he is, because that's what sets up this glitch. This is the easiest setup that I totally screwed up. Alright, let's try that again. Line yourself up with this, and then just spin forward, and freeze those guys on top of each other, bomb on morph. That's the easiest way to do it. Just fall down, jump. And shoot the wave beam. That's probably the easiest way to get through that puzzle room. A lot of these puzzle rooms are just really is not a super easy strat, unfortunately. Just spark vertically here. This map, it's really not hard to jump over it. Morphing under it is guaranteed. So, that's probably the easiest way. I'm doing the spark just because the spark is the easiest method.
If you're really low on super missiles, you might want to walk, but if you're new, probably not a good idea.
If you're new, it probably makes more sense to just refill if you're low on supers, but you want to get another spark here. Shoot that door open with a missile and use one of those slopes, and then just go right over here and spark to the right. Gotta go back here. Pick up another spark. There's really not anything super easy to do with this puzzle room other than, remember, don't panic. You have time for it. I'm just gonna show how I do it. Because I think how I do it is it's fairly easy. I don't know that there's an easier method. And right around here is where you want to go to get another spark.
There are several methods to do that bomb chain, but they're all pretty decent and not that hard. Just find something that works.
Yep, and this room, there's nothing for it. Remember to shoot that out, and you just gotta run, and you gotta jump at the right time, which I did not. There's nothing else to do in that room.
Yeah, if it takes you a while, don't worry about it. It's a 4-frame trick. It's not easy to do for the first few times.
Yeah, there's nothing else to make this easier, unfortunately. It is just one of the harder jumps in the game. Make sure you pay attention to these floors because they are destructible. And this is the pipe right here. It's the second floor. After the second destructible floor, the second pipe is fake. Springballing into a wall jump is the intended way. Feel free to just fall and try to wall jump. Or just go back to the right. Whatever's easiest. Missile tank. Ideally, you'll screw attack to kill all those guys just to get them out of your way. Take note of the super missile block. That's definitely part of the reason why I say you want to kill some of the owls. This is not easy to do with screw attack. You can freeze a guy, jump. Make sure you break screw attack. The most reliable method is to try for a wall jump like that, because it doesn't rely.
But you might want to demonstrate what to do if they fail to.
Oh yeah, good call. Let's say you fell down here early. It's not a big deal at 100%. Just go all over here, and you can pick up a speed booster. And line yourself up with the wall, and just spark right up. And have another go at it. Here, you can just screw attack right through everything. If you get supers there, the more supers you have, the better. I think you technically should get that on the way out, but
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Easiest thing to do here is that. I think I think that's marginally easier than spring balling. But I think this works. Yeah. You're going to want to try for a spring ball off here, though. There, wherever. If you don't, ball cannon at the bottom. So now is when you want to fall down. Just morph, stand up, super missile. So at this point, if I were low on supers as a beginner, I would refill right here. Not right here. I would get the E-tank first, and then refill. I've got 9 right now, so I'm not going to.
The rule is about 6 super missiles. You want to heal against Ridley?
Stand right about here. Once you turn around, the fight triggers. Just run into him and shoot ammo at him until he's dead. You have so much health and so much ammo, it does not really make a difference.
Yeah, you don't even need missiles if you have 4 supers. That's something to know about.
You'll want to collect his drops. You're looking for super missiles. I unfortunately only got 1, but that's okay. Here, you can just freeze the guy right there, and that's enough height. Don't need to do anything fancy there. Running through here. If you don't have many super missiles, you can farm right there. I got very lucky there.
You got a lot of super missiles there, yeah.
I'm still going to show a strat to farm the owls at the end, just for completion. Even though I don't need to in this particular circumstance. Wall jumping up the left there is the fastest method. So the ideal method for this is jumpy, jump, jump, jump. There's a certain rhythm to it. If you don't get the rhythm to it, then you can just kind of freeze a bug right there. If nothing else, there's always bomb jumps. And then farming these guys. Screw attack, screw attack, screw attack. I don't need those drops, so I won't be collecting them, but... And that's it. Done with Ridley. We're never coming back. Go right.
Yeah.
Don't go left, go right.
Ridley's a harder section, so if it takes you a while, don't worry too much.
Yep. Absolutely. Make use of the ball cannon. So now... You're going to want to be standing in these brambles. If you don't stand right around there, you can lose your speed booster here, and it's kind of silly. Line yourself up right about there, and just spark up. And running and jumping. And we're going to make use of the hit and screw attack blocks there. But at this point, we are going to clean up the rest of Brinstar that we missed, well, that we saved for later. Alright, so you're going to want to line yourself up against this wall. And this is kind of tight. You want to store that spark back through the door. Make sure you're on the flat here, and you're going to want to ball spark to the left. I think the easiest way, store your spark around here, spring ball up there, and go left. I think that is about as easy as that trick gets. And you can just hold jump right through there. And get this now, make use of the fact you have screw attack. And now we're climbing this room. Personally, this is my favorite bit of movement in the game. But however you get up there, get up there. it. So it's important to use missiles here, because all this is also destructible. But use a missile you can grab up there. Line yourself up right around here. The rest of the floor is fake. You can just jump. Okay, well, maybe not.
If you have problems, you can do a jump extend, because that's a kind of attack.
Oh boy. That was not what I wanted. Failing that, there's always our good friend bomb jumping. You can wave beam that away, but just jump. And now, wait. There is nothing to be done but wait here. Alright, dropping down into the lava. Those bugs can get in your way. Just use missiles. I don't think I've ever seen a bug get in the way of missiles right here. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but...
They can mess with your beam shot, not your missiles.
Yeah. Now we're going down to the right here. I did at one point in time going to the right first and then picking up the E-tank, and I found that it was neither faster nor slower, so... If you want to go right and then go up, that's totally fine. And that's a super missile block. You might have to react to that. Don't really have to react to that. It's a little quicker to screw attack this bomb block.
So here at long beam, if you're really low on super missiles, it could be a good idea to heal.
Yes, that's
Doesn't
true.
happen very often though.
Yeah, you want to have as many supers as possible for Tourian. Tourian, there's some subtleties to Tourian, but as a beginner, really all you should worry about is don't go below 4 super missiles. Like, keep 4 super missiles on hand at all times. And if at any point you fall below that, then
Swap to missile.
yeah. And when you reach 4 super missiles, start using missiles. Max health is not actually super important in 100% because you have so much ammo. You can opt to collect this guy's drop if you want. It's not really worth it, I think. You do want to collect the drops from the rest of them. These are probably the easiest positions to stay in to kill these Metroids. You want to jump there to trigger that guy. I did it in the wrong order. So I've got 4. So I'm now switching to missiles.
For this room, you might want to save some supers, if you can.
Yeah.
It's kind of a difficult room with just missiles.
Yeah. This room. If I have 2 supers, I like to save 2 supers for the guys at the end. Just so I can do that.
If you can, try to save at least 6 supers for the Mother Brain room. So I like to save some supers in this room.
Yeah.
John got pretty lucky here.
I got very good luck, so I have a lot of supers. If you only have 4, it's not a big deal.
It's just a lot easier as a new player if you have a lot more super missiles here.
Yep. Just shoot missiles at the Zebatites until they die. If you've got any spare supers above 4, just use them on Mother Brain's glass. And the easiest way to get to the safe spot, drop into the lava, full jump, tap left at the peak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the pattern you're going to want to be repeating the whole time. And if you can, start running here to get this speed booster. It makes this a lot easier. Here, spark from that platform, and then hold right. And then wall jump, 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 jump. That's probably as easy as that's going to get. If you don't get the speed booster, just platform up. You should have plenty of time. Whatever, let's do this. That's probably as easy as that's getting. It's very important that you try your best to run out of missiles here. It doesn't actually make a difference, but that's something a lot of people try to do.
Then you get to enjoy another large cutscene.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be running out of missiles in Tourian as a new player anyway.
No, if you... It's more important to be careful at the end of Tourian than it is to be fast. Be very careful that you are not missing any shots, because missing shots is what's going to have you run out of missiles. I think the absolute minimum number is 64? 64 missiles and 4 super missiles going into Mother Brain. I think...
Yeah, given how much you're healing though, you should be fine. Right?
Yeah, if you are short, that last room before the Zebbatite room, you can farm missiles there. We're just going left. I am not certain what you mean, Crunchy. Alright. So, map skip. You want to be kind of right around there, I think, when you jump. Well, okay. Or you can just get the map. That's fine too.
That's probably gonna happen a few times. Happens to everybody.
Yeah. The map skip is surprisingly difficult, but it's always worth at least trying. Definitely take that refill if you want to. Save. Shoot that guy diagonally. Easy strat.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I was really slow in the previous room.
No, I thought you had gotten caught, but you didn't.
This is the easiest strat. You can try for this. I'm not very good at it. If you don't get that, then what you would do is just...
Show them the backup, I think.
You think? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea.
Alright, so let's go back here. Alright, if you don't get that strat, then just go up here and just wait right here. Freeze the pirate. And then when the alarm turns off, go through here. That's a crumble block, so be sure to jump over it. And do a straight jump up there. If you do a spin jump, you might not make it because subpixels. I honestly don't know why that is. So.
Zero mission physics are weird.
Yeah. What you want to do here is you want to shoot and then jump. because there's a block there, and your shot will destroy it, letting you go down here. And juke the floors. Jump extend there, lets you do that. If you grab this ledge, it's not the end of the world.
So, something to mention is that you want to be shooting as you enter a tunnel. That reduces the lag.
Yeah. Just wait at this platform for these guys to get out of your way. There's a faster strat, but it's kind of hard, so when you're first starting out, you really just shouldn't worry about it.
You can wait in that room back there if you get caught.
Yep, and then jump through the door. Saves 8 frames. If you get some ledge grabs there, it's not the end of the world. If you get caught here, actually, let me go back for that. Like, let's say you fell a little short on that jump and landed right here. Wait a second, and then just jump over the... Oh, well, just jump over the pirates. And then that's fake over there. So get up there and shoot the floor, and you're fine. Don't jump through this door. If you jump through that door, you'll get detected. So you can see what Sam was talking about with shooting as you enter the tunnel there. The easiest strat is to wait until you see the light and then go up the left and then wait. The fastest strat is to just wall jump right up the right wall, but that's... If you're not super confident in your wall jumps, you're not gonna make that.
If you get caught here, shoot the block back there.
Yeah.
And wait.
Why am I doing this? Just wall jump up the left wall. I'll show the Sam strat. But your movement has to be very particular to get this strat. And mine wasn't. But basically, just keep running through all this. If you get the Sam strat, then what changes is this next room. You would be able to run straight out the top rather than dipping into that save room. If you don't get it, it's clearly not a big deal at all. And just get detected here. You gotta wait a long time for that too. Alright, I'd go right here and just freeze the pirate. Don't miss that jump. Here, shoot, take a big jump, shoot again. That's a little tight, so if you have to just run through the pirates, go right ahead, just run straight through the pirates. You should have enough health. Yeah. And as a beginner, you should absolutely not be concerned with going through this section without healing. Ideally, you want to wall jump up here. If you have to use the blocks, use the blocks. Alright. And now, more cutscene. And this is the Charlie fight. The Charlie fight is RNG, but there's one big thing to keep in mind with this fight, and that is to keep moving. And movement does not actually necessarily mean like walking around. A lot of people will just kind of just keep turning around back and forth, because as long as you're not like, if you're just standing still, Charlie will shoot lightning at you, and that's very annoying. Personally,
jumping works too.
Yep, jumping works. This is kind of my preferred method. It doesn't matter for this first phase, but this is kind of what I prefer to do for this fight. Just do that. I find it's easier to stay on target that way. But otherwise, you just gotta react to that pattern. You can still shoot that lightning, but if you keep moving around a little bit, then you won't get the lightning that's targeted straight at you, which is just a unfortunate time. Shouldn't be any differences from the old tutorial for the next few minutes. We're mostly just going to be collecting a couple of items and making our way towards power bombs. Now, this item, be underneath this, and you'll get this. But, excuse me. The absolute easiest way to do this is to do this. Charging some of these Shine Sparks is non-trivial.
If you don't want to charge that twice, you can go down here and then get the missile if you want.
Yes, you can do that. I'd forgotten about that one. Alright, stay aligned with that right wall to get this spark. If you don't get it, just keep running back and forth until you get it. And then down to this right-hand corner to get this super missile tank. Don't drop bombs there like an idiot. I don't know why I did that. Easiest way, just respin and screw attack that guy. And you're just basically just running and gunning for the next few minutes.
So we're basically playing Contra.
Yep. And this is just all about knowing where to go. Store the spark and spark straight up along this wall. Let the pirate destroy the blocks for you. If he doesn't do it, then just kill the pirate and bomb the blocks. No big deal. And because we have screw attack, it's worth holding a charge in this room because that'll attract these guys towards you and prevent them from shooting the lightning, which is fairly annoying. Go through the tunnel a little bit faster. Nice. Oh, shoot from down there to trigger the work bot early. And then use super missiles to move them along nice and quick. Get a charge going into this room, jump and screw attack that guy, and you can use your charge to kind of wipe out all these shootable blocks. Otherwise,
Okay, it's fine.
yeah, otherwise just shoot, and you'll have the one extra block to deal with. It's not the end of the world. And small thing, but whenever you need to use missiles, at this point, it's best to just use super missiles. Okay. So now we're going to be collecting power bombs here. This is where the route's going to diverge a bit from the old tutorial. Basically, I'm going to take a pause here for just a second. Basically, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to ledge climb into the power bomb, run off, then respin off the laser, and we're going to clip through the door. I have a more in-depth tutorial on this trick in this part of the route. I'll link that in the description of the video, because teaching you exactly how to do door clip is out of the scope of this video. That's about the position you want to be in, then crouch and stand up, and you'll be through the door.
Yeah, basically just try to copy his movement through that room exactly, and you'll get it.
But at this point, now we're going to be going and cleaning up the rest of the game. Oh, drop a power bomb when you first enter this room. Not right there. I mean, right there works.
Something to note is you're going to want to be really careful about your power bomb. All of our power bombs have a specific purpose. So.
Yes. Oh, that's not the right setup for that. I'm going to leave and re-enter the room to do that properly. Okay. Shoot the work bot off to the right, get back to about here, and then shoot a couple more super missiles. Obviously the other setup works, but bomb the floor there, that's very important, because that'll let the pirate destroy that block for you. If you don't get it, that's obviously not a big deal. This room...
So you're going to want to make sure you have one power bomb here, and John is going to probably show you what to do if you accidentally use your power bomb.
Yeah, if you accidentally use your power bomb, go over and heal in the save room over there, and then just come back this way. Because we're going down here to the bottom part of the ship. This is another major difference from the old tutorial. Or if you just didn't get the door clip, you gotta kill that pirate. You can't use a power bomb, like the old tutorial showed. And you're gonna want to refill here. This refill is very important. I'm gonna recommend just the morph under the map. Assuming you skipped it. If you didn't skip it, obviously, you can just run right through it.
You also probably want to be using missiles for most of that. I think John just had super missiles on accidentally.
Yeah, I did. Spring ball into that power bomb, otherwise it won't quite reach. Don't power bomb in this room. Just use a bomb there instead.
Yeah, take special care to not use power bombs. You really want to sit hit them.
Yep. Every single power bomb that we collect has a specific usage. Right. So now, at this point, you don't want to heal there. You just want to run through it. Again.
If you did accidentally use power bombs, heal there, but you shouldn't have to.
Yeah. And again, just go through here, take this shortcut again. Okay.
You might want to save state for this one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't have save states set up. Let me go. Let's see here. Let me go. Where's hotkeys? Right there. Quick save. Okay. Alright, let me do that real quick. I have not closed chat. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. That scared me for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's a couple of different ways to handle this. I'll show you the preferred way, which is to do the glass tube trick. Basically, when the screen stops shaking, get this charge, recharge it, drop another power bomb, recharge again, stand on the edge, and diagonal spark. That's the easiest way to do that trick. If you don't get that trick, say, you set up like this, oh no, I pressed down too early, then just go down here, drop the power bomb, and go to the end of this room. Get all these guys out of the way. Get a charge, spark straight up, and then just go right back down. It's not the fastest method for backing this up, but if you do it this way, you only have to keep the one route in mind. So for a beginner, that's really all you should be worrying about. Getting the powerbomb tank early does not actually matter in this route. Since we're doing door clip, there is not a reason to get the extra power bombs early. So now we're really coming up to why this route is a good route. You'll notice we have 3 power bombs. 3 power bombs is enough to make this whole segment really easy. Store the spark in the bomb. Try to spark through the door if you're really fancy. Space boost through all of it. If you just have to walk, that's fine. Morph right here. Drop that. You should be at 1 power bomb after using that power bomb, and you'll notice it destroyed those. So rather than doing this long convoluted spark chain, we can just run right through all of this. Charge, charge. You can recharge all there and make this as comfortable as you need it to be. And then kind of line up right around there and go to the right. And then ball spark, kind of right at the bottom of that slope. So that's the big reason why it's really important to not use any power bombs you don't absolutely need to use. I think your easiest strat is going to be something like this. I don't really know what exactly that was, but as long as you get through the room.
Yeah, don't ball spark through the room. Just, if you have to, just walk through the room. It's faster.
Yeah, and then just screw attack down the right. Avoid those, because you can stand on them. That's the super missile block. Just stand on top of it and shoot down. You can also do this. Shoot a super missile. I didn't want to use one there, but as long as you break the block. And now there's kind of there's 2 methods. You really should just do the space boost.
If you're doing the space boost, do not hold forwards. Just let go of your D-pad.
Yep. And you can go a lot higher here than you think. Like, these are all speed boost blocks way up there, but that bottom is not. So you can go very high for that and still make it. And make sure you don't have super missiles selected anymore.
In general, if you're space boosting for a while, you want to let go of the D-pad because you can grab ledges. If you don't, that's really annoying.
Yeah. And but I don't think there's a lot of space boosts that a beginner should be doing.
They should be doing that one.
That one, absolutely. The spark is quite a bit harder. Going down here.
It's a good general rule of thumb, though. There are a few places where you could accidentally grab a ledge.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got just a couple of items left here in Kraid. One of them is here in the AWS room. Easiest method. That was not actually the easiest method. You can just run. If you don't get that spark, you can just walk out the way you came and it's not a big deal. So this room, something to keep in mind, double tap jump right there. For whatever reason, every 19th frame, the game will not let you drop off the zip line. So that's why always double tap to drop off the zip line.
Yeah, just make sure you're not old and you can tap faster than every 19 frame.
Yeah. I have no idea why that works that way, but there is not a good way to get through this room. Just, you're at the top, you want to get to the bottom. That room's just super awkward. Missile blocks in the wall.
No one.
Easiest way is to just use that.
No one makes that fall look good, honestly.
Yeah, even when it's done perfectly, it still looks ugly. Shoot that out, wait, and then jump. Don't wait too long. If you fail, then those are all destructible and you can just do that. Alright, so now, you want to missile those two guys, switch to supers, buffer storing a spark there, and then spark along the top of the room. This is another spot where you can space boost, but it's significantly harder for extremely negligible time gain. So I wouldn't worry about it. For a beginner, I would get this super missile tank right now. Then you can just store the spark and spark right out of here. That will actually not collect the super missile tank, so shoot straight up there. And just get up here. Wait for it to reform, and then run. Easiest way to do it. And then spark back across this room. Wait. Left jump real quick. Ideally, you want to get a charge and spam to kill those guys. Just use screw attack if you don't get that. Use a power bomb in that room.
If you accidentally use any power bombs, that heals a good spot.
Or you can collect extra drops as they show up. But never rely on getting drops, because power bomb drops are really uncommon.
Yeah.
You want to start running about here, as far to the right on that as you can. Because we're going to store this spark, ideally in this room. That doesn't give any room for that pipe bug to mess you up. Now we're going down here. And this will finish up Norfair cleanup, this last item. You want to try to space boost through this. If you don't get it, just walk, it's not a big deal. And And now we've just got a couple items left in the criteria. Gesundheit. And you're going to want to go up this time. Shoot that block out or bomb it. And start right here because we're getting a speed boost. 1, 2, 3 space jumps, or 4.
Yeah, you want to do a full jump over the pillar and spark.
Yep, that's how you're supposed to do it. If you fail that, open this door, go through it, get the spark get a spark there, and just drop down here like that. Drop a power bomb while you're waiting here, because there's a block right about there. Oh, the easiest way to deal with this, just let go of right through the door. And drop another power bomb here. Collect this in whichever way is comfortable for you. Just get up top here and drop the power bomb. Don't worry about trying to do anything fancy with it. Now we're just retracing our steps in the suitless, all to get one item.
No one likes this powerbomb, if you can't tell.
Yeah, this powerbomb's terrible. All this detour for a single item. Ideally, you'll get this pirate to jump over you like that, but it's very important to jump to place that power bomb. If you have not picked up any extra drops, you'll have 0 there. I did, so I used a power bomb there. But it's impossible to have power bombs that you shouldn't use there because normally you'll be at 0. So, don't have to worry about it. And now we're retracing the steps we made right after Suitless. Hello?
You can platform better than John there, for sure.
Yeah, you really should. So now we're almost done with the game at this point. We're going right back to where we picked up the initial pack of power bombs, but we're going to take this slight detour first. Just line yourself up with this pillar and spark up. Ideally, you don't drop space jumps. No sparking up this time, unfortunately, so... Oh, I'm surprised that hit. Same thing, hold a charge. Oh my god. Okay. Nothing new through this part of the game. And you will have a power bomb to use here. Power bomb, bomb. That's a small thing. This time we're going left. Oh my god. So we can take advantage of this shortcut here. And right about where that bomb block was, drop your power bomb. And that'll clear out all the rest of it. And you want to conserve super missiles for the final boss at this point. So, the more super missiles you have, the better. So now we've just got one single item left. Okay, like, don't destroy that. Don't destroy that block like that. Stand right up there. And right here, this black block right there, drop a power bomb and that'll clear all those out for you. So now we're at what's called the space jumpy tank, but you're, okay, wow. Don't open that door. Definitely do not open that door. Line up against the door and start running, and you kind of have to time your jump. But once you break those, come back up here, get a spark, and you want to drop off this ledge slightly before sparking. That's the easiest possible way to get that item. You can try to space jump through it, but that's actually kind of hard, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're new to the game.
It's a good spot to practice your bomb jumps if you feel like it.
Yeah, so basically all you're going to want to do is just, if you jump you can raise his head and you can shoot him. Like, he doesn't do a ton of damage, but this basically shoot at him until he dies. That's the strategy here.
Yeah, if he dies in less than if he dies in 6 super missiles, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that means you've missed an item. But if you've been following this guide, you shouldn't have done that.
Wouldn't have been funny if you had actually forgotten an item, though.
I mean, we would have just redone it, and it would have lived on as a Twitch clip. Same movement strategies through all these rooms. This is the 3rd time we've gone through them. So now this is a little bit different. You're going to want to shoot the workbot back this way. Destroy the floor. And then you want to set yourself up right there. And you're going to want to try to store the spark right there. Get that guy out of the way. I'm going to show this off. If you have to run through these rooms, then run through the rooms. Because that spark is not easy.
And if you have to use extra slopes, go ahead, because it saves a lot of time.
And get a charge, and then shoot the black pirates until they die. That's really all there is to it. And jump into the ship, and congratulations. You've finished Metroid Zero Mission 100%. No, skip spick, because any of the really fast strats for Black Pirates in 100% are pretty advanced, and you shouldn't worry about them when you're first starting out. And you have enough health that you don't need to do the cheese strat, where you jump down and then jump back up, like you see in any percent.
Yeah, even for casual players, going down and just tanking them is much faster at 100%. So.
Yeah, like you can just like run back and forth and mash a shot, and you'll have no problem getting through them because you have so much health in 100%.
Yeah, then you get to enjoy the credits and awesome ending music.
I think this is the best credits music in the series, honestly. I love it.
Yes.
But think that's
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
We can.
that's the basic introduction to zero mission 100%.
Probably want to let the credits roll and see the end screen though.
Yeah, I think I remember that my last tutorial was like just over an hour game time.
This one's invalid because you used a save state. But...
I did use a save state, but no matter. I feel like this one should be faster, but I'm not certain.
No, it should be.
I went back and forth for a lot of stuff.
If you guys have any more trouble, John will probably link the Discord, and you can ask us on the Discord.
Yes, if this tutorial is not covering something, it's not as clear as you'd want it to be, basically, or if you just straight up think it sucks, then show up in the Discord, and you can tell me why it sucks. Or, hopefully, more just ask questions. And there's almost always people around in the Discord to answer whatever questions you might have.
Yeah, if you actually complain and tell us that it sucks, I don't think we'll respond very nicely, so...
I mean, if you can give me a good reason why it sucks, then I'll take you a lot more seriously than if you just show up and say, tutorial bad.
Yeah, show up in meme. Just join the Discord, basically.
Yep. Alright, moment of truth. Did I manage to pull off sub-hour in the tutorial?
Feels like you did, anyway.
Well, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Exactly 1 hour would be funny, too.
Exactly 1 hour would be hilarious.
Alright.
I was really hoping for sub-hour, but alas.
You were 15 seconds slow there, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Ah, well, no matter. Yeah, I think that's everything I got planned for this tutorial. Any last thoughts, Sam?
No, I think we covered it all. As we said before, Discord will help you out if there's anything we didn't cover here.
Yep.
And should be an easy run to do, honestly. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy run to jump into if you've got some baseline familiarity with the game. But I think that's it for now. I have nothing else planned, so